Ta'alofa lava and welcome to Mersina, Treasures of Samoa, where we amplify Samoan culture. Today we're talking about the terms Afakasi and Fiapalangi. So we're going to start with the term Afakasi. So Afakasi means half of one, and it was introduced to Samoa by Palangi to identify someone by their blood quantum. So the amount of blood in their veins, which makes no sense. And so half of one means that you're mixed. Could be Palangi, could be Tamauli. So Afakasi means that you is a term used to describe someone who has Samoan and maybe more than one other ethnicity within them. Again, it was introduced by Palangi to Samoa. In ancient Samoa, Samoans would intermarry with people from Fiji, from Tonga, and they were not considered Afa. They were not considered half of something. They were just Samoan. So if you went and married Fijian or something like that, you wouldn't be Afafiki in ancient times. You would be Samoan still. And so this is why today, when we have Fa'alave, we don't see you as partial cousin. We see you as a cousin and or a relative, regardless of how far back your relationship goes. So when we have Fa'alave, sometimes there are people we don't know, we've never met before, but because they have married into or a blood relative, they're still family. And so I feel that in this case, the term Afakasi would not have been used in ancient Samoa because we have that strong family, sense of family. Your family, regardless of if you married into the family 100 years ago, you're still family. You're still ainga. And so, yeah, that is why I don't think the term Afakasi was used in ancient Samoa. Tell me in the comments if you agree that ancient Samoans did not use the term Afakasi. Today we see people who celebrate the term Afakasi, and they proudly represent themselves as Afakasi, being proud of all of the different parts of them and their identity. However, historically, the term Afakasi, especially in Samoa, was not always positive. In fact, when Palangi first came, they drilled it into Samoans that you were less than them because you were not you were Samoan. So being Samoan, you're less than the Palangi. And when you married a Palangi and you had children who were mixed, this then brought your status up just a little bit. So this is historically, this is not happening, although sometimes it is happening right now, but historically this is what happened in Samoa. So not only did they make people who were of mixed background feel like they were superior to other Samoans, it also made other Samoans feel like they needed to be more, that they needed to show that they were more than their mixed blood Afakasi counterparts. And so, yeah, so we've got the Samoans who are feeling like they need to be more, even though they are just as beautiful and wonderful as they are who they are. Yeah. And so there is that whole historical issue of the Afakasi and the Palangi and the Samoans. So while the divide today between Samoans, Afakasi and Palangi is not as visible, it still comes up in everyday life. So I have seen a situation where someone had done something that wasn't quite right, and then others around them said, Ose Afakasi, as if being Afakasi was a reason for why they did what they did. Yeah, so I guess now we're seeing it more as a negative connotation instead of pushing Afakasi up like the Palangi did. Someone's trying to put them back in their place, if you can, historically, because Samoans were pushed down where Afakasis were brought up. If that makes sense. Does it make sense to you? Another problematic term that I see being thrown around by Samoans towards other Samoans is the term Whiapalangi. So Whiapalangi means you're trying to be like a white person or an outsider. And that is a little bit, that's derogative if you're going to say you're Whiapalangi to like a person who is of mixed culture, because yeah, that's part of my culture. I'm a mixed culture person, so I should be proud to be able to act like that because that's my mixed culture. And using the term Whiapalangi makes it so that having that identity of a mixed cultural person is less than a person who just has Samoan. And that's quite problematic in that there are so many Samoans overseas and within Samoa who have mixed cultures in their blood. And saying that they can't represent all the cultures within them is problematic because that's their identity. That's who they are. Even though they are Samoan, they are also other cultures. So referring to them as Whiapalangi is wrong. So I recently wrote a blog and I criticized a hotel in Samoa, and it was honest opinion. It was all truthful, and it had to do with my stay in the hotel. So I wasn't doing anything but sharing my experience, and someone took it really personally, and many of them referred to me as being Whiapalangi. So I'm just going to put them up here, and then I'm going to explain to you what they mean. So this is saying that I am Whiapalangi, and I am staying in a hotel when I have family in Samoa that I could stay with. Sound like a bunch of Whiapalangi whinges to me. From Bernard Tuaimau. Yeah. And then these are the ones that were on the actual blog post on Facebook. There were actually more on the people who shared it. But yeah, Whiapalangi. Why? There are other ways that you can describe somebody's behavior instead of being Whiapalangi. You could call them a know-it-all, Whiamawalunga. You feel like you're bigger than everyone else. Whiapalangi is a cop-out, and the more it is being used negatively towards our own people, the more I see that divide between the Samoans and the Palangi and Afakasi. I see that, and that's coming greater because Samoans are trying to put you in your place and say that's not the way Samoans do it, when in fact, actually, yeah, you get on social media, you tell us all of your dirty laundry. That's what you do on social media. So you can't get on social media and say you're Whiapalangi for doing something, giving an opinion when you just gave your opinion on social media. Yeah, so I guess what we're saying now is problematic terms to be using negatively, Fiapalangi and Afakasi. So if you disagree with anything I say, I would love to hear your point of view. Please tell me in the comments what your disagreement is, or even if you agree with anything, you know, comments are great. If you would like to see more of this content, please consider subscribing. It helps with all of the algorithms. Like this post. Yeah. Whawhatai te lava, and thank you for joining us here at Mersini Treasures of Samoa. Tō whāsui fua.